Good morning, gang. Happy Sunday morning. All right, it's the end of our long weekend, and something that we need to pay attention to. Not necessarily be concerned about yet, but certainly pay attention to. We have gain of function research and mRNA vaccines back quietly in the news again. And I'll bet you haven't heard of this. If you live in the area of Davis, California, around UC Davis, if you live in Manhattan, Kansas, around the USDA Agricultural Research Service, or you live in Lubbock, Texas, around Texas Tech, you absolutely should pay attention to this. We have the government, again, approving gain-of-function research on deadly diseases and importing it this time to the United States. No, we're not having a Fauci-esque doctor doing this in Wuhan, China. No, we're now going to do this in the United States. And this is researching Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, known as CCHF. This has a 30% mortality rate. And it is spread by, anybody live rural, you really want to know this, ticks. And it can spread from the ticks to the animals to people, and people to people. And it has a 30% mortality rate. Okay. We're trying to find a vaccine for this, is the theory. Now, CCHF was originally discovered, the disease itself, in 1944 in the Congo, go figure. So we're talking, 80 years? And all of a sudden now, let's do some research to see if we can fix it. But let's not do it in the Congo where it's in nature. Let's import all the ticks to the United States so we can research it here. Right? Because, no, it never happens that something accidentally escapes the research lab. Right? Okay. Think about this. This is something that is prone to cattle getting. What's the problem we have right now with our cattle herd in the United States? Oh, it's at the lowest point it's been in 75 years. Gee, let's import something into the U.S. that if it escapes is going to go kill 30% of the herd. What do you think is going to happen to beef prices? Okay. You start looking at the logic of this. I mean, half the world is screaming for Fauci's arrest. Hell, Biden had to give him a pardon, remember? Because of the activity. Was never convicted of anything, was never even charged of anything. But he got a preemptive pardon. You don't think that somebody might know he did something illegal? Oh, okay. So who's potentially the next Fauci? Please do not tell me it's Dr. Abdullah Mustafa who's running any of these programs here in the United States. It's just dumbfounding. Every day when I open up the news, there's something else that makes me go, what the hell are these people thinking? Sure, do you want to eradicate the disease? Absolutely. But why not do it in Crimea, where this was first found? Or why not do it in the Congo, where it's prevalent? Because if anything escapes, it's normal. It's been there. Okay. They've already figured it out. No, let's introduce it here. How many of you guys enjoy the stink bugs that we get every spring and every fall? Those were introduced here. Obviously that's by accident. That wasn't for research purposes. I forget, what is it, the lantern fly that came over from China along with stink bugs that is destroying crops, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, how about kudzu? There's another one. We have such a lax oversight, if you will, on stuff coming into the United States that gets in here that's catastrophic, that is destructive. Instead of working on keeping that crap out, which they've already failed on, let's bring in more stuff that can destroy people, animals, the food supply, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So what they want to do is they're getting a whole bunch of funding, your tax dollars again, to the USDA to make an mRNA vaccine, again, to prevent people from getting this. To prevent animals from getting this. Do you see what it is? It's literally, let's create a pandemic so then we can make money off of a vaccine. Does that remind anybody of any time in our history? I don't know, say 5 years ago? I guess the people no longer are taking enough of the clot shot to make the pharmaceutical companies money, so the government's got to feed them a different deal, so everybody, the liberals, will go panic. I gotta get a vaccine. I gotta get a vaccine. That's what we got going on here. Again, this is what it is. And this time, it's a 30% fatality rate. You better worry about it. Don't go out in the fields. You need to move into the concrete jungles. You need to move into the 15-minute cities because we don't have any ticks there. You need to get out of the country. It's not safe. You need to get this shot. Do you see what's going on? This is the stuff they don't tell you about. This hasn't been reported anywhere in the mainstream news. This hasn't been on the 7 o'clock news at night. Haven't seen CNN or Fox or ABC talk about this at all. Nope. Okay. You find this when you start digging. And you go, crap. They're at it again. I'm really getting fed up with Congress, both sides, thinking, hey, we can fund this. This is the USDA. May I remind you which party is in control right now? This one ain't the liberals. So this is the Trump administration USDA who is authorizing this crap. This needs to be shut down immediately. All those ticks need to be destroyed immediately. You want to go do this research, you go do it in Crimea. You can enjoy yourself, trying to avoid the gunshots that are going around there. Or you can go and research it in the Congo and enjoy living there. But don't bring this crap into the United States. We got enough freaking problems. We do not need another pandemic that will cripple the economy again and attempt to make the pharmaceutical companies rich, because they'll race a pandemic. It's been around since 1944. We haven't figured out how to do anything about it. But God knows if this gets out in the public in 6 months, we've got a vaccine. We haven't figured anything out in 80 years, but we figured it out in 6 months this time. Right? Okay. Sound familiar? Yeah. Again, this is another one. It ain't out yet, But wait till it is. Wait till we hear the news story 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, whenever it is from now. The first case of such and such disease has been discovered in Lubbock, Texas. Right? Because all of a sudden we hear measles are back. Why? Because we imported a bunch of illegals who weren't vaccinated for measles that we've had a vaccine for what, 70 years? Okay. Polio, we've got people getting polio. How the hell is that possible? We basically eradicated that disease. Oh yeah, that would be bringing it over from other countries. Why in the hell do we keep doing this and going, you know what? We're not going to make America a melting pot. We're going to make America a petri dish. No, sorry. Get this crap out of here. We got enough problems of our own. We don't need to be importing more. Not illegals, not insects, not nothing. Pinball out.